Now let's look at probability of dependent compound events. And this really occurs when you have multiple draws, whether it's 2 or 3, when there is no replacement after the draws. Because then the outcomes are affected because you have less items for a second draw or a third draw, and that happens when there's no replacement. So, a bag contains 3 yellow marbles, 6 blue marbles, and 8 red marbles. Multiple draws, one after the other, are made from the bag without replacement, and this is key. This makes it dependent after each draw. Find the following probabilities, and we'll do both 31 and 32 here. Probability of yellow on the first draw, then red. So, what's the probability of getting a yellow? Now, first of all, you got to find the total number in the bag, so I do 6 plus 3 plus 8, 9, so there's 17. 17 total. So I'm going to take the probability of yellow, and I'm going to multiply it times the probability of red. So what's the probability of a yellow? Well, there is 3 yellow out of 17 total. So that's 3 out of 17. Now, I drew out a yellow on the first draw, and this is key. There is no replacement on this problem, which makes it dependent. That means I only have 16 marbles left for my second draw. And then I want to say, so the first event happened, I took out a yellow, so now there's only 16. I keep it out of the bag. Now there's only 16 marbles left, and I want the probability of a red. Well, there are 8 reds out of 16. Now I can do a little reducing with this particular fraction right here. So it's 3 out of 17 times, I'm going to reduce to 1/2. Now you don't have to do this. You would have at the beginning here. You could multiply and reduce at the end. I just like to do it at the beginning. Now if I go ahead and multiply, I get 3 over 34. So there's my probability in fraction form of a yellow followed by a red without replacement, dependent. If I divide that, I get about 3 divided by 34 is 0.088. And that would be about 8.8%. Now, if I go down to 32, it's a blue followed by another blue. So I'm going to take the probability of blue times the probability of blue without replacement again. So what does that mean? Probability of blue, well, there are 6 blues out of 17. I took out a blue on the first one. Now on my second one, that means there are only 5 blues left, and there is also only 16 total marbles in the bag, so it's 5 over 16. Now I go ahead, I could do some cross canceling here to make my numbers smaller. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 16 8 times. Just makes your numbers a little bit smaller. So if I go ahead and do this, 3 times 5 would be 15. And then on the bottom I have 17 times 8, which is 136. So as a fraction, that can't be reduced any further. There's my answer. And let's go ahead and divide those and give the approximate decimal in percentage. So if I took 15 divided by 136 on my calculator, it's about 0.110, which if I make that a percentage, I move my decimal over 2, it's about 11.0% or about 11%. And again, you don't have to have all 3 answers. If you're going to leave it as a fraction, make sure it's reduced.